I don't know if you know this, but folks, I am miserable. I don't know how else to tell you. I didn't think I was. I was under the impression that I wasn't miserable, but apparently I'm miserable because I'm part of the Biden-Harris faction, which sounds very rebel squadron, so I kind of like it, the Biden-Harris faction. They call me Faction Jackson. But apparently, Dana Loesch thinks that the and this is the quote. Oh, get out of here! Hold on. Theater mode.
Dana Loesch is a nationally syndicated.
It's pronounced Dana Loesch. Dana Loesch. The Biden-Harris faction is miserable. Oh, miserable. I gotta say, I don't know. I gotta say, I think how does she look more miserable than me? You know what? In all fairness, might be Botox. We'll find out.
Radio host. All right, Dana, I want to give Joe Biden the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he just was next to Kamala and just didn't see her. He is 82.
Yeah, but I've been seeing him do this, Jesse, and then Jill Biden do this also. And I think Jill's done this on a couple of occasions. The wife doesn't lie, right? If the wife is giving somebody the cold shoulder, you know how this is. That means that person is deserving of a cold shoulder. So that's where the truth lies in this.
They're literally sitting next to each other. They're at an event together. They've already spoken. They're waving to the people that are present.
I love watching.
He's the president of the United States.
These factions go at it with each other because both of these people.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the case she's making is that the two factions are miserable because they don't get along. I got you. Okay, cool.
These factions are miserable. The Biden faction, the Harris faction, the people who are mad at Biden, they all.
The people who are mad at Biden. You mean Jesse's miserable?
Made the.
Because I don't know if you noticed this. He's always mad at Biden. It would be adorable if it wasn't so creepy.
Perfect little nest for themselves. And I think as, you know, a Christmas gift, a holiday gift for all of us, Jesse, all the way up in.
Whoa. Just say Christmas gift. Holiday gift? What kind of woke bullshit is this? No, Dana Loesch. You are not allowed to backpedal off of fucking Christmas with holiday. What do you mean? Kwanzaa? You gonna start taking that seriously? Is that what you do? Or is this, what kind of inclusive, horrible shit? I'm starting to think the deep state has taken over Fox.
Till January.
Yeah, Dana Loesch is trying to cancel Christmas. That's exactly right, Turd Ferguson.
We get to enjoy watching this play out in front of America. So
yeah, you look like you're enjoying it. I will say, and I understand, as someone with full pouty lips, it's a little rude of me almost to say this. But those of you that, you know, Lana, that feel the need to get multiple injections and puff your lips up, I don't understand. I think, you know, not that I don't intend to age disgracefully. Believe me, I do. But there's something, you got that shellfish allergy upper lip thing. You've lost all definition. And look, some people were born with full kissable lips, and other people, I guess, live in a, what is this, a democratic hell? Where is she live from the DNC? What is this color scheme? I feel like, and he's wearing a blue tie. What is happening? They're being all woke. She's getting lip filler. What is going on here? But I'm just saying that if you don't have full lips, don't try to fake it. Just work with what you got. It's not the size. It's what you do with it. Except when it's the size. All right. Sorry, not sorry.
I feel really good about it.
I'm having the best time.
Yeah, you look like, you don't look at all like two people who used to work together on the high school television news program and everybody hated you and you're still doing it?
Covering the news, probably in the history of my TV career. Since this election, we've had so much fun covering Democrats. I don't think I can stop. Listening to Jon Stewart talk about whether they're going to help make the country stronger or just do the opposite. Like, what? How is that even a decision? The Democrats are struggling.
Your side attacked the Capitol, dum-dum. The idea is like, if you're going to help or not, you mean pick up the slack for him, help him pass bills because the Republicans won't? Help him pass a budget because the Republicans won't? Yeah, sure they will. But they're going to want leverage. They're going to want a reason to vote for it. They're not going to just do it to bail him the fuck out. He wrote Art of the Deal through somebody else and never read it. But still. Right.
Struggling with.
Also, I don't know which clip he's talking about. And I got to say the running gag about the healthcare shooter that Stewart's been doing. No. Fuck that.
Well, the Democrats have to find an identity. They need to discover what is the soul of their party? What is
everybody gets to vote. And if you lose, you don't you don't change your message or your ideas. You just change your outreach. And I think we just have to be in a more defensive stance. That's just me.
What's the purpose of their party? Because it can't just be, well, we're not Trump or we don't like.
It isn't. We actually want everybody to vote. That's the primary. That's why Democratic versus Republican. Republican, they're more electoral college. Democrats. Then we also are big on the whole, like the primary elements of the Constitution, provide for the general welfare, that kind of stuff. You guys are big on pursuit of happiness because you don't have any responsibility for that, right? But provide for the general welfare is something that Democrats have attached themselves to, and rightly so, because if they didn't, there wouldn't be enough maggots alive in red states to vote Trump back in. And we're also not willing to let those people die just because they don't vote our way. I mean, again, you guys are the party of Zod.
Like Trump. They can't do that anymore, especially now. They can't do that anymore. And
I can. I'm awesome at it. What are you talking about? We're the party that brought you the Infrastructure Act, the CHIPS bill, the Chips and Science Act, STEM education, a myriad of social programs to get people to the starting line, not to the finish line. You're responsible in your life for getting to the finish line, but the starting line shouldn't be staggered by, your race or your gender or how, the religion you were raised in, right? That's what we're for. We also are better for the economy than Republicans are every fucking time. But we spend a lot of our effort cleaning up after the last Republican that shit the bed and not crowing about it. Now, I will say that the one thing that Democrats could learn more from people like me is the power of ego and that humble kills. Humility is a real thing. Humility in the face of something that is extraordinary has value. But acting or behaving as if you are humble simply for the social points, it's nothing, shucks, is very damaging when you're a political party that's trying to prove your track record. On a social level, it's great at dinner parties and that kind of stuff, and people just think you're affable and the like. I don't do that. I'm a complete egomaniac, but few can get away with it, hence, the charm. But the point is that Democrats need to be more defensive about defending those among us that do the actual work and more forward in claiming our victories. That's it. Because what we do is awesome. You know how we know? Try to undo it, motherfucker. Try to undo it. Try to undo the Chips and Science Act. We've seen you try to undo the ACA. Try to undo the infrastructure bill. What about the rescue package? Undo that shit? Cut all the green financing that went to like battery factories and all this shit in red districts? Do it. Try. I mean, look at Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Try to undo them. That's what we stand for. And we get it done. Meanwhile, Trump just does a bunch of fucking executive orders, and the next person that comes in goes, nope, 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 nope.
Can't find, whoever's coming up after Trump and say that they're just going to be anti that person either. They actually...
Oh, I won't. Don't worry. I'm running in 2028. Trust me. I'll be all about what I'm going to do.
Jesse, are now...
By that time, even I will have had enough of talking about Trumpdom.
Forced to come up with a platform, a policies all of their own. And it can't just be everything's fine, ignore what your eyes and your bank account are telling you. But I don't think that they are humble enough. And
I did not pre-watch this video. Humble enough. We're too humble, stupid.
don't think that they believe in themselves enough to actually do this. There is a scarcity of opportunity.
Oh, believe me.
Within the Democrat side. You can only put so many grifters at the table. They have grifted themselves out of influence in the American public. And that's what voters...
He's got a 1.5% margin. Simmer the fuck down. You have the smallest majority in the House in like 70 years. If the Republicans lose two people, if there's a heart attack and another lawsuit filed, Democrats could take over the House in the next 6 months, much less in the midterms. Good Lord.
First responded to, and until they...
Al, are you going to run for president? I'll run for something else in between, but I'm definitely going to run for president. Sure.
Get it right.
Jesus Christ. If Marianne Williamson can, monetize and drive part of the conversation, I used to work for that woman. I would say with, she would say for. But... I don't have to win the first time. I could. But you think at this point, if we're going to have Trump twice, you think I'm going to be deferential to, whatever happens? Why? Fuck that.
Jesse, and until they get something down on paper, something concrete, that will continue to happen.
And we will...
Wait. Paper, something down on paper that's concrete. Oh, you mean like Project 2025 or Agenda 47? Gotcha.
Continue to cover them with the love and affection which we
Schadenfreude is a beautiful thing.
So truly hold for them. Dana Loesch, good to see you. Click here to.
Yeah, let's see. Jasmine Crockett is VP. That'd be up to her. If she wants to run, that's up to her. I wouldn't presume that she won't be running too. But here's the thing. This is a thing on the Democratic side that I don't think, there was a little bit of it, I guess, on the Republican side because there can be there can be only one with Trump, right? There's an element where on our side, we've been so deferential, be it to women or people of color, and I think that's right, and I think it's a great idea. Letting people have their spot at the table is totally cool. And if they win, great, right? But primarily, anybody who thinks they could be a benefit to the country and who represents the Democratic Party, wholeheartedly, that's who should run, right? And if you get swept out because Americans are going a different direction or they choose somebody else, it wasn't for the lack of trying and believing in yourself. That's it. But it can't be seen that anybody's running, if there's a rise in Latino voters, if somebody Latino runs for president, that doesn't mean they're trying to muscle out black or white people, right? Or Asians or that for that matter, right? If we're going to be the party of open inclusion and diversity and all that kind of stuff, it means everybody gets to have their say. You don't exclude people automatically, no matter what. Nobody gets preferential treatment in that regard. You get to, rise to the highest height you possibly can. And nobody has the right to stop you based on those immutable characteristics. right? That's okay. And I don't think anybody expects more than that. I think some people have been a little afraid of it over the time. And I think with Trump being in twice, I think we're past worrying about that. Hal Darling, we're in the last days. No one good will be able to take office. Don't worry about it, Julianne. I'll be king of rubble then. Don't worry about it. Just if it's just me in a leather jacket in a hot rod car going, you want some fuel? You follow me. It'll work. We'll figure it out. I think President Sparks works great. Come on. I don't know, be the first, and I think I should keep my hair, quite frankly. I'll look like the Witcher by then, but I also think that, like, you know, it's time for us to have our own Zaphod Beeblebrox. I like to think I am, Bobby. Thank you very much. So there we go. Because, again, I look at it in the number of people that have run for president on both sides over time that I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing that they're even up there. Be it Santorum or Tulsi Gabbard or somebody like that, right? So why the fuck not? Now, when we get closer to that, probably, you know, around the midterms, as I build this channel and build out what I'm doing, I may come to you all and go, hey guys, I need to start gathering signatures. Help me do this. And we'll build our own little, you know, if Lyndon LaRouche can gather signatures, sure, so can I, God damn it. If I win the presidency, will I still do my show? There'll be a version of it. Yeah. It'll be my, you know, we'll do these little fireside chats where I roast the politicians that are going against my agenda. But all the money that I raise will go to charity. It'll have to, you know, I'll divert it for the 4 years I'm in office to either a lockbox, or I will, yes, I'll have a second head at that time. I'll get, you know, it'll go to a lockbox and I won't touch it so nobody can manipulate me based on super chats. Though you're willing to try now, it doesn't work. We've had it happen before. We had that, remember that Australian guy who like threw $500 worth of super chats at me because I was denying him his free speech rights, and he was like, read my statement. And I was like, nope. He's like, $100, like, read this. I'm like, nope. Like, you're denying me my free speech rights. And we're going, no, you're trying to buy your way to the front of the line. Piss off. I think that in and of itself, I'm going to use that as part of my record. I can't be bought. Well, I can't be bought. I can be purchased, which means I will do, you know, what it says on the tin if you hire me as a comedian or hire Nerd Halen. Yes, we'll have a cabinet of rock. Absolutely. I'll have a department of rock. Department of organic rock, because it'll have to be live humans. So we can just call it, you know, the Doors. That said, move the moon. Oh, is the moon in the way? Sorry. That's new. How about I put it right here? That works. Ta-da. So, and by the way, Twitch people, I think right now it only grabs Twitch stuff. So if you throw in some emotes and throw some bits in there, it'll bounce the stuff around. I'm trying to make it work to do the other things, but it was just being a dick. Department of Bluegrass. We already had one of those 150 years ago, I think. And so, yeah, Department of Compassion. I mean, that would be the Secretary of Compassion in the Department of State. Yeah. Yes, King's X will play my inauguration. Absolutely. And they'll play Welcome to the Groove Machine. Yeah, I'm for it. Will I outlaw pot? Of course not. Department of State, yeah. Well, I certainly the people in the White House chef would have the easiest job in the world. I need 5 raw eggs and a steak every day. That's it. Yeah. Anyways, I adore you guys. I went over, but that's all right. That's all right. Thank you for watching. It's the House. It's House Parks Mega Worldwide. Don't forget tomorrow morning and afternoon show. Same with Thursday morning and afternoon show. Got some cool stuff for Friday this week. Do I go even? Do I give a hint? No. Nope. Not doing it. But yeah. Remember what happened to Cenk Uygur? Yeah. That's not going to happen to me. By the way, you know what happened to Cenk Uygur? Can I just say this? Where's Norm's thing? I'm going to put this up here. Right here. Whoops. No, it's here. There you go. Keep it real, Hal. Remember what happened to Cenk Uygur. Nothing happened to Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur was always this way. Cenk Uygur was always a fraudulent prick. I would argue that Anna might have been baited or black-pilled or whatever you want to call it. Red-pilled. I forget what color the pills are. Nobody cares. But he didn't cave to MAGA. He was always that way. I mean, he did the same thing after Trump won last time. It was like, maybe we're going to have to kiss this dude's ass. They can play around the fringes and mock him a little bit, but they don't have to, as long as it's within the margins, they'll be forgiven and that kind of stuff. But now he's just straight up sucking up to him. Oh, I mean, we talked about this with Cliff on Monday. It was always a fraud. The whole purpose of TYT is one thing. Diminish the Democratic vote. Drive down Democratic voting. That's it. Everything else is window dressing. You got to pretend to be on their side. You got to say all the right things, say all the right phrases and that kind of shit. And then as you get closer to the election over time, start going, well, but these aren't the people. These aren't the people. These aren't the people. Never defend the party. Never defend the person that's running. Fuck them, blah, blah, blah. And then right before go, well, gosh, people better vote or we're going to be screwed because the guy's a bad guy. The other guy's a bad guy because that's what the people who are voting want to hear. And then, but they don't do it because they're like, wait a minute, I thought you said Hillary Clinton was a fucking warmonger. Now you're going to tell me she's okay. Right? And that I should vote for her, right? It's a game. It's always been a lie. Like, I think some people on our side of the aisle, from a media standpoint, make mistakes. They go down a rabbit hole of their own that they dug themselves, and they get stuck. Like when Tom Hartman was having on Richard Wolff, right? That happens. Whatever. And then eventually you're like, oh, okay, this guy's actually full of shit. Never mind. But it wasn't because Tom changed his beliefs, and Tom's a good guy, right? He just was following that line. Same thing with, Jon Stewart it was always a perfunctory thing. He got mad about the PACT Act, but not enough to defend the people who actually got it passed. Because he would have to share the credit, which gives you an idea of the ego involved. And hey, it's like they say, I think it was another Mindhunter line, right? Where they go, how do you become the president of the United States if you're a sociopath? And she goes, the psychologist that works with him goes, how do you become president of the United States if you aren't one? There's how do you get to the front of the line? I will openly admit the power of my ego as a driving force. Not ashamed of it. It's necessary. Being in entertainment is you're ice skating uphill. Everybody talks to you about it's about rejection and it's the fear of rejection. That's bullshit. They're not rejecting you. You just don't fit that. Your key doesn't fit that lock. That's all. I got to take it fucking personally. There's too many moving parts. I couldn't even know if I was if they were like, we just don't like him. Well, then you're the problem, not me, right? You just don't like what I do for what you're doing. You have every right to do that. I don't care. But it's the people who, have a faux humility about what they're doing, and then they show up on fucking TV every night telling you what to think, what to believe. Of course I have a big enough ego. It's like when people walk up to me after a show and go, well, that's just your opinion. Of course it is. What am I going to do? Get up on stage and tell you someone else's opinion? The fuck are you talking about? Point being is that if you own your ego and you own your sense of worth about what you're doing, and you don't hide it behind false humility, which is what a lot of them do, then you're responsible for it. And that's the part I'm okay with. None of them want that responsibility. That's even Joe Rogan. That's a great example. Look at Joe Rogan. I'm just a dumb fucking shaved monkey, blah, blah, blah. I'm just a dumb pothead comedian, is what Jimmy Dore says, right? No. That you're just letting yourself off the hook. You can't tell everybody what to fucking think all the time, interpret the news for them, put stuff up and go, this is what's really happening, and I'm letting you know what's really fucking happening, and then go, well, what do I know? I'm just a dipshit, blah, blah, blah. No, you fucking own it. I own this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's not because, why are you trusting me? I don't know. That's their way of, that's their ripcord. False humility is their ripcord. Fuck that. It's lazy. It's weak. And it's manipulative. That's them manipulating you. I stand by what I say. And if I'm wrong about something, over time, I fix it. But but since most of what I'm talking about, the vast majority of it, that, and I exclude maybe some of the jokes, is about my ethical alignment and my beliefs. We can disagree. You can think that I'm mistaken about my interpretation of stuff, but it's based on my ethics, and those aren't necessarily going to change over time. Why would they? It's why that whole Trump thing about, like, I don't know, maybe things can change about the, whether the federal government will limit, mifepristone or something like that. If it changes, the only thing that would be able to change for me is if it became dangerous and there was a better alternative. But that wouldn't mean that the service that it makes available would go away. Because my ethics about it would not change. Women should have that right. The real answer to that, I think, if Kristen Welker asked that question, would you outlaw mifepristone? You've said you wouldn't, or you said you would you do it? My answer would be, if something better came along and replaced it, and the alternative was so significantly better that it pointed out flaws, in the healthcare that it brought you, that it was dangerous or something, and we needed a replacement. As a matter of fact, I would put people in the NIH and the CDC on the task of finding a replacement for it, because women should have that right. That doesn't change. Ethically, morally, my belief that women should have control of their reproductive cycles and their bodies doesn't change. How you get there might. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And I know that's a bit of a rant, as it were, but I don't know necessarily that, does it? Oh, I know why. Hold on. I'll have to fix my, because I got my glow working again, I think. Or no, I moved it over here. Where did I move it? This guy. I got my glow working again, but I forgot to move my rant over. So I'll fix that for next time. I've been working behind the scenes. I'm still trying to, build on the show. I think the one thing my skill that I have to learn between now and the presidency would be how to work in teams better, delegation. I'm a very DIY human being, and I've always assumed that if it's my decision, it's my, my plan, I should carry it out. But that's not how things work on this kind of scale. And so I got to work on that, and I will. Right? See, we can all grow. Look at that. Look how far we've come. And I think the important thing is that